All right, so let's go ahead and start on the dollar index. Check out the weekly really quick. I'm going to keep the Bollinger Bands on. I usually don't, but it's all good. I'm going to keep them on today. And you can see the past couple weeks, we've kind of failed to break this high, let's see, of its 94.50 basically. And, you know, I'm expecting somewhat of a correction before we end up making it higher, but you can see it is starting to make this move to the upside. There is a little bit of divergence coming in, so we could see a little deeper correction, but nonetheless, you can see how it is starting to just form this higher high, higher low, higher high situation. When you go to the daily, you can definitely see the structure is bullish. And we have a potential, you know, we're in a potential spot where I personally think that the dollar could start to move to the upside again. I mean, as you can see, this just really daily or really big daily bullish candle that we have here. After, you know, kind of an uptrend move, we came and tapped the bottom of the Bollinger Band once, twice, kind of double bottomed, maybe took this liquidity out. We'll see what that looks like on a lower time frame, excuse me, and then we started to move to the upside. Now, one thing that we've been, whoa, sorry, I don't know why we did that. One thing that we've been talking about is this right here, is how this is kind of a reversal pattern though. So there still is a chance that, you know, this could play out to the downside a little bit and come back into areas like this wide open area. Obviously, there was big buyers at this price. Obviously, you can see this right here. Everyone can see that. So let's just drop a price right here. There's still a possibility of price making all the way down there to 90.5, but it could also just stop kind of around this price right here. Now, that's if it does make this little reversal pattern fall out all the way to the bottom of the pattern here, or fall out all the way down here. That's one, you know, scenario it could do, or it could just be starting to continue its way up to the upside. With this candle right here showing possibility of strength right here, you can see how in the RSI we're still above 50 on the daily, so it's pretty bullish sign. The slow line is above 0. We're getting a blueprint, so I'm seeing still upside. So let's see here. You know, definite possibility. When I go to the 4-hour, you know, you're seeing this clean uptrend, a correction here, and then whenever I zoom in, what I see on this within the correction. Okay, within the correction, I just deleted the Bollinger Bands and bring those back real quick. This little move down took out these lows, and then we did end up breaking the structure high right here with this move. So in my opinion, it looks like, you know, it could be starting to move to the upside. We got a clear break in the RSI above 50 here. We got a nice move in the MACD, broke above the center of the bands, came and touched the top. Now we're back into the center. We're back into an area where I think if it's gonna move up again, it's gonna move up sooner than later. So let's go to the 1 hour. We can really see this fake out. So this would be that fake move I like to talk about a lot. You get the fake out, and then you get the break of structure. So it's just kind of one of the setups I like to look for. So the dollar, let's see if it's at the 61 yet. Not quite yet. So I like how this 78.6 lines up really well with this liquidity right here. So for a perfect setup, right, that 78.6 could get tagged. For more, just get in the trade setup, I'm going to wait for the 61.8. I'm going to put an alert on it. Price is 93.67. And I'm going to wait for that for the dollar. So that means pretty much want to see something like this. On the lower time frame, maybe a little push up off of this, come back into maybe this area right here, and then another move to the downside, giving that A, B, C, and then kind of a move up right here. You see it's a pretty clean price. So I'm looking for bullish moves off of that, which means the euro, and that's just a setup, you know, if it does continue to go down, that is another, you know, scenario that could happen. It's a pretty good looking setup that I think could play out for sure. So the euro should be the opposite, you know. If it's not, then something's wrong. We are, let me hit next. Euro on the weekly, you know, we have this bearish candle last week, looking to possibly break below these lows. Maybe not. We're on close to the outer edge of the Bollinger Band. Still have a little bit of ways to go here, but you just see this big bearish candle. And obviously we are in a downtrend. Prices moving down, down, down. There is some divergence. There is a reversal pattern. So it's questionable. You know, I don't love selling when I see higher time frame reversal patterns, where bullish reversal patterns. But when you do go down to the lower time frames, you can start to see possible moves of a bearish, you know, a bearish continuation of all of this. So it's almost the opposite. There was a move up, a fake move up, and then a big move down. So the move up took out this, and then the move down took out the structure low. So we got the highs taken out up here, and then we got the lows taken out down here. So it's a perfect little structure move that I like to look for, little market maker, whatever you want to call it, move. So we have the steal and then the move down. I'm going to fib this, and I'm going to pretty much the same thing. 61.8 lines up really good with the middle of all this. So I'm going to put the alert there at the 61.8, but the 78.6 is that cleaner spot. For like that super clean risk to reward. Let's see what that risk to reward is up there. We'll stop just a little bit above that and targeting it down here 5 to 1, almost 6 to 1. So this would be anticipating these lows getting taken out after these highs just got ran pretty much. So liquidity run, and now we're going to be running for this liquidity basically is what it looks like to me. Unless it just ran this side, then ran this side, and it's coming back up here, that would be a little bit too hard to predict. All right, let's speed this up. We got a sort of a reversal pattern forming right here on GU on the weekly. So it has just been kind of going sideways a little bit, but staying underneath the Bollinger Band for quite some time, since the beginning of June or middle of June. And so we have this reversal pattern right here pinning the middle of the band. So I'm going to be trying to lean towards the downside. If I see any bullish opportunities, I'm going to try to maybe put a little bit less risk on them. But this is nice. We have this nice kind of drop out here. We broke through these lows here. We did break through the band. It looks like this could continue to the downside. One thing that I do see that is a little scary, you know, obviously this is making a move up and this is more corrective. Okay, that's why I'm saying it's kind of sideways, because it's just, that's a little bit corrective. So at any point this thing could start to just make this big move up again. And this kind of does have like a little head and shoulders look to it right here. You know, we got the left, we got the head, and we got the right coming into this area right here. So shorting it right now, I don't necessarily think is the best idea, just because at any point it could go up. It's in a kind of a bullish pattern right now. I'm not going to buy it. Like I said, I'm going to wait for sells. So what I'm gonna have to do is wait for pretty much a retracement of this move right here. So whenever it stops, I'll be waiting. I'll just continue to fib it if it keeps dropping, and then I'll look for this retracement. Now, right now, on the lowest of low time frames, it's dropped and it hasn't retraced yet. So it's probably getting ready to retrace. I'm seeing a lot of bullish divergence here as prices just kind of dig deeper, a little bit deeper and deeper with this reversal pattern. So if it does like make a quick dive and then a sharp move, that might be something I look for tomorrow to maybe play a retracement move. But like I said, I don't really want to look for the buys on GU. I'm really looking for the sells when price gets up into this price 1.375. Nice number. All right, AU. The Aussie has been moving a little differently lately. So let me see what this weekly is talking about real quick. A little bit more bullish. You see how GU is completely bearish looking. This is got some pins up here on the weekly. So let me check. We're coming into this level, I believe, right here. Yeah, so we're definitely at a level you don't want to look to buy, or in my opinion, I don't really want to look to buy right here, just because this is a really strong level on a really high time frame that price has struggled to break through, and now we're coming back into it. It could hold a support, or that's what they teach us, right? So right here we have a pretty nice extension. Here we have a wave up, correction, wave up. I'm going to fib this and just see what extension it is at. Okay, it hasn't quite hit the 38.2 yet, but like I said, let's see this clean level right here. So we're almost at it. It might have a little bit more room up on the intraday level, but coming up, we're coming into an area that was broken. It should hold as supply. We're overbought on the dailies. We have some minor divergence on the daily. This is flat while this is, of course, moving up. So the momentum is kind of showing we're flattening out while price has made this like ABC pattern. And if I fib, so that was for a correction. Now I'm going to see what this whole move looks like, and we're really close to the 61.8. So I'm going to keep this here for a swing perspective, just to see where price might start to move up. I can see it's coming up a little bit higher on AU. It has somewhat of a like just reversal correction going about it. You can see how when price was coming up here, let's go right, where's this here? There we go. Price is moving up here, and on the momentum it was moving up the whole time. But now, you know, price is still kind of moving up, but you can see the momentum is not here with it. So we're getting ready to turn around, in my opinion. And you can even see it right here, the RSI. It's kind of sideways at this point, and before it was just making higher highs. So we're, in my opinion, we might have one more move up in price, but I bet you the momentum continues to stay below this momentum here. So we're going to see some divergence probably coming if it doesn't just roll over, because if you go to the lower time frames, we might have already broken some structure. We have reversal patterns setting up. I'm going to delete these so we're not confused anymore. But we have some reversal patterns setting up right here. I believe we got a little head and shoulders coming up. Oh, no, let's do it like that. All right. So like the head and shoulders is right here. It could play out. It's setting up for it right here. We haven't quite broke the bear structure. We failed to make a new high on this rally, and we started to break lower, but we failed to break this low. So it's in that spot where if it breaks this low, it should start to really drop. So I'm going to make this demand still for now. So I'm not going to look for buys off demand. I'm going to look for break of demand and moves to the downside. So, but like I said, we could have that one more pop up. That's probably what's going to happen. See, it's still holding with this little trend. So one more pop up, probably take out these highs and then a move down, even though, you know, this is probably in a pretty good spot for the drop. It just didn't really, you know, change structure just yet. So I'm waiting for that big move, like that, like easy did. Big move. I'm waiting for something like that. Big move, something like that. So it's late to the party. And UCHF is kind of diverging with everything. So let's go look at this on the weekly real quick. Weekly, we've had some bearish weeks. Pretty much last week was indecision. We're coming into this price here. So on the weekly, we stayed above, like right here. So I'm going to keep that. And for the longest time, you know, we've been talking about how this run up right here, we were expecting price, once it hit this fib, we were expecting this to eventually start to run up to the highs, and it's taken just forever, weeks on weeks on weeks, and now it's kind of in a downtrend, maybe corrective type move. So what I want to point out though is how these lows were just swept out by this candle. Now, some people wait for that to happen before, you know, looking for buys. A lot of banks sometimes, you know, will wait for the liquidity to get taken before moving. You know, they don't have to wait, but they'll sometimes wait for that. So this could be an area, definitely an area where UCHF can move up. If we look at this swing from here to here, we're right at the 78.6, reacting off of it right now. So it could be a really nice swing spot for UCHF. Like really nice swing spot, but I'm not looking to swing this at all. That would take forever, in my opinion. So you can see the trend is still bearish on the 4-hour, making lower lows, like clean lower lows and lower highs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just patiently wait for not like a trend line break necessarily, but at this point, yeah, these need to break, or there needs to be some type of structure form. Now you can see clearly we're making lower lows and the momentum is starting to diverge. So there is good divergence. We most likely will come back up here to 50% of this drop, but I'm gonna wait for some type of better reversal pattern. If we make one more kind of correction up and then a low again down into this level and form 3-wave divergence, that'll be what I wait for. So that'll be when I buy the low. I'm not going to buy the low off 2-wave divergence. I'll buy the low off 3-wave though. So right here, what is this? Actually, I can go here and then 3-wave this one. So it's a 1, 2, 1. Wherever this comes, I want this to go to like 1, 2, 1 as well, or 1, 6, 1, 8. So probably around there, and then this make the move up for the start of the swing. That's the only way I'm buying the bottom of the swing, because this thing could easily just keep swinging down like it did right here. Look, perfect 61.8, 78.6 hit, and then move down. It could easily just do that again right here. One more time. That might be another move to look for even. So it's just, I don't like selling after I've seen a whole bunch of swings down and divergence, you know, because eventually it's going to turn around. So lower time frames. I mean, yeah, that correction is probably coming, but I'm not playing the correction. UJ looks like it's starting to show some exhaustion up here. It's just going sideways at this point. So I'm probably not going to be messing with it much. Needs to be at the top or the bottom of that for me to mess with it, and I'm not feeling where it's at intraday at all either. So the only way, I wish this would have impulsed better down because it did reject off this pretty smoothly. Breaking this little structure, but the 15-minute looks better. Yeah, this could be a 15-minute setup for tomorrow. I'm going to keep this on here just for tomorrow morning. If there's nothing else, big sellers came in right here. In fact, let me see where this, okay. Yeah, big sellers came in right at this price. So if they come back in here, I'm gonna look for sells back down to the bottom of the range. That looks pretty clean to me. Still kind of ugly at the same time, though. UJ. Do some like touch up here and then drop. And just keep that right there. I gotta put in the way back. Actually, I'll just wake up and look in the morning. I don't really want to be alerted on UJ for some reason. Okay, weekly on EG. Is it finally getting ready to come up from this spot we've been waiting? I think it is. So EG number one on a higher time frame is just very choppy. Once it gets down to these low levels, there's two prices. This price way down here, and then this price kind of right in here. And it's reacted like that over here as well. So we're kind of in that area right now to where the choppiness should start to either one, bring this back up to these highs way up here eventually, or coming down all the way into these lows way down there, right? So I'm gonna put this right here just because it's another important zone. Let's go to the daily. Now, I'm leaning in favor of this starting to move to the upside now, to at least, at the very least, this area for now. There was some good divergence on the lower time frame. Let's see, this momentum was picking, or it was pushing up, and price was doing this? Price was going down as this was coming up. Price is coming down. Then once the RSI started to really make higher highs and higher lows, price started to follow, and we got this break of structure here. So clean break of structure, which is also that kind of price on the weekly time frame. And I'm just going to delete it now because we have structure pretty much right below it. That's the price on the weekly time frame that we reacted at. So I'm seeing possible bullish moves coming. I'm going to play this, little trend that it's been going for. My computer is going to die. Let me plug this in real quick. All right, so I'm going to play this trend that it's been making on the 4 hour. Started to make these higher highs and higher lows. Pretty clean. So I'm going to play that and just really wait for the next move at this point. Abdul called a really clean move on the next wave channel and caught this pretty much whole move here. So now we're going to look for it to correct again and kind of come back into this area and then move up. Let me see where the volume is on this one. Yeah, there's good volume right here and a lot of volume at 78.6. I don't know if it'll get that far up. But if this continues to move up, then I'll just correct my fibs and we'll see. Lowest time frames, it might be ready to start to correct, but it's a little risky. It doesn't have enough divergence for me to try to catch that little correction. I'm just going to look for this move here. GJ. Real quick. Yep. Okay. GJ looks like it's getting ready to turn around. We're getting some wicks on the higher time frame after a big move. So maybe not turn around, right? Maybe at least correct. So let's go to, I'm going to put this just right here. Here's the middle of the Bollinger Band. That's where I see it coming back into eventually. And so when I go down to the lower time frame, I just want to see, yeah, that lines up perfectly with this structure. Now we are right into this. We might see some, you know, it might double top. It might react here and kind of double top before it comes back into this. But eventually we're going to see it come back into this weekly Bollinger Band. But yeah, it's correcting right now really nicely. We had a big move up after it broke out of this. I'm expecting it to make another move up again after it corrects though fully. So I'm not going to even look to buy it until it corrects all the way back down into here, which lines up really good with the 61.8. So that's probably going to take a while still, because right now it's just in corrected phase. It might not get all the way down there. It might just move up, but for now it is in a really corrective downtrend, making these baby lower lows. I mean, really, these aren't even lower lows. I think they're, yeah, like, I mean, barely lower lows, barely making lower lows. The momentum looks like it is completely diverging. So this is probably going to correct a little bit soon. I'm seeing big divergence and just a bunch of liquidity right here is probably going to do a fake drop and then a pop. So if there's a V or an M tonight, that might be a good little look for a move up, back up into maybe this area briefly before probably eventually just continuing to correct down. It's not really the best. Yeah, it's not really the best paired to look to trade, in my opinion, just because it's kind of incorrect, just kind of more corrective than trendy, and it's showing some bullish divergence before I really want to buy it. So it's kind of, in my opinion, not really something I want to mess with. But if I do see this pattern tomorrow, something like this, then I'm going to be having my eyes peeled for a possible move. Okay, this is just, can't look to buy this yet, so I'm not going to look to buy GA almost no matter what. Just to close out, probably coming for these now. What is this at? Probably like right where I want to buy it. Okay. I'm still not going to buy it no matter what yet, you know, because that's a huge swing zone. Okay, lows got taken out here. I'm just going to delete that. It's in a swing zone, but yeah, momentum is starting to flatten out. So what I'm going to do, I'm not buying it for anything. I don't care. Even if it makes three waves, because you see 1, 2, if it makes another wave and it doesn't, we're already lower. So we already have pretty much 3-wave divergence. I'm not buying it. You can see the RSI is not making lower lows yet, but price is making lower lows. Momentum or volume is even lower. So this is showing signs of reversal, but until we get a sign of structure that forms bullish, I'm not gonna buy it. Even right here, You see, we had a nice break of structure and we had this bullish, you know, bullish model that formed. We got a correction. We were looking for a move up. It didn't. It failed. We got another rally that broke highs. Failed. Another rally failed. So I'm really waiting. I'm not just going to sell into this just because it's in an area, a swing area where I would rather look for bullish moves so this could start to swing to the upside. So I'm just going to be patient and wait. This thing has like a very nice little, you know, trend, couple trend lines going over here. So just waiting for like one of these little trends to break. I'm really looking at structure, but either way, I'm waiting for bullish structure to buy. So I'm going to be patient on GA. I know I said I'm not buying no matter what, but when I really look at it, I can't really sell it because it's not swinging down, it's kind of chopping down. Maybe if I go to the 15-minute, they look like swings, but at this point, I'm being more patient for the bulls, which means this is probably going to look very similar. Yeah, closing very strong to the downside. This isn't really my thing to fib this, but if I was going to, it's even below that area. This is the same thing. It's been falling for so long that I'm not going to continue to look to sell it. I would rather wait for the, you know, start of the bullish move and then try to catch a piece inside of it. And it's basically the same thing. I mean, this is swinging a little bit nicer. I would really have to wait for this swing high to break. And if this could break, then I would look for the next pullback to make another high. But right now, it even looks like, you know, this is setting up for a good drop. Like I said, I'm not going to continue to sell it. But if you're someone who is a strict trend trader, I'm not a strict trend. I'm more of a momentum divergence trader. So that's why I don't trade this. But this is just in a stupid downtrend. If you're one of those trend traders, this might be a perfect sell for you. If you just wait for this price up here, but not me. I'm waiting for the buys. All right, gold is starting to go a little sideways. I know it's making like big moves still, but overall, you know, if I kind of go on maybe the 15-minute, might be a little sideways-ish. Weekly real quick. My mouse is dead, so I'm using the mouse on the computer. I'm not used to it, so sorry about that. But on a weekly time frame, right, gold could either be, you know, making a bull flag to continue up, or it could be like at the top of a cycle getting ready to like make a big leg down. It could be either one. I'm thinking right now, you know, we're getting some rejection on the weekly, possible signs to the downside, just price action on the weekly. And right here, you know, we are holding above this EMA. We are above the 50. We are still above zero here. Everything is bullish on the daily on gold still, but it's just sideways. It's not like it's trending bullish. It has a bullish like higher high, higher low scenario, but it's not really trending bullish. 4 hour is the one that is starting to change the script a little bit to the downside. Right here, we failed to break the high. Failed to break this high, and then here we did break structure here. So this is, to me, is a structure shift, and this right here is a possible complete shift in the structure. So this starts the shift, this confirms it, and if we break here, then we're just 100% looking for sales only. So this is what pretty much I want to happen at this point. I think we're in the fib area or out of it are at this point. Yeah, we've tapped the 61.8 and then fell. If you want to, you could put the fib here and, you know, still in that nice area. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm looking for this to start to swing down. Since it hasn't really made the you know, big move or anything yet, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for tomorrow, and if I see a big move during New York open, I'm gonna see if I can catch a retracement. If not, that's okay. And then I'm gonna try to play this move from a different spot because I'm not getting in right here. Now tomorrow, if this comes up like this, which it could, I'm gonna go to the 1 hour and look at this divergence on the higher time frame, like 1 hour. Okay, and I'm gonna, if the price is higher but this isn't higher, this next little move that it makes, then I'll look for sells. Either way, I'm looking for sells. It might come run this liquidity one more time, but I'll be looking for sells regardless, just because the structure's changed. The VIX is sideways, not giving me a whole lot of info. Hasn't made a lower low in a little bit, but not a whole lot of info from the VIX right now, just that it's low. When the VIX is low, I do not look to buy the indices, and that's just how I've always played it. But yeah, it's not really looking too great. It looks like it kind of popped, and now it's in an area where it might want to come down a little bit, double bottom again. I'm not exactly sure what the VIX is really trying to do right now. It's going really slow, so the way that it has moved has been kind of slow. But regardless, like I said, when it's low, 16 is a low reading. I'm really not looking for bullish moves on the indices. So let's take a quick peek. These are at all-time highs. So, I mean, finding a position on them, that's a safe position. That's the hard part. When it dipped, that would have been the best, you know, scenario to get into. Is the weekly diverging a little bit? Yeah, weekly is diverging a little bit. We're getting big moves with low volume. That's kind of a turnaround sign. Let me put this at the we're at all-time high. So it broke all-time highs. A lot of times with the indices, when they do break their all-time highs, they will come back, retest, and make another move. So I'm waiting for like a big drop, big shift. We got this big divergence, move up, 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 momentum, not so much. So I'm waiting for a big drop, big correction. We saw one not too long ago. Here, and I guess from top to bottom, it was like 6%. That's it. Wow. Well, I'm waiting for like a bigger, deeper retracement, like a 20 or something bigger. Yeah, I'm waiting for something like to correct the market, to chill out, because look at this. Look how crazy that is. Just straight up. It's got to chill out. Let's see what it would be all the way down here. It's not going to do that. So, oh, 30. Yeah, it could. Let's see right here. Could it correct 30? Yeah, I could correct 30. People would just be scared. We'd be like, oh, it's at the 61.8. Okay. Yeah, I mean, but like I said, these are really bullish. Don't want to try to catch the tip. Here's an example: break, retest, go. But on these all-time highs, it's not like I created that, but they do that all the time. Okay, this is starting to form a little lower low right here, lower high. This can start to roll over. That'll be the first little sign of these starting to possibly fold down a little bit. We'll see. It is I'm just not showing this. Usually look at this at the first, but it is a big news week. I guess in an hour and a half. This is 8:20. It's really 9:20. So let me refresh this and see if that's the help. Yeah, okay. 9:08. Cool. Yeah, at 10:30. So in an hour and a half, basically, there's some AUD news. They're not expecting the rates to move. And then on Wednesday, that's the FOMC. That's going to move the dollar. We'll see which way. They're probably not going to do anything about the funds or about the interest rates, but they're talking about moving them up. So that is bullish for the dollar. So I'm bullish on the dollar kind of right now. So we'll see. Same thing with the GBP. They're talking about their rates. They're not expecting anything to change. And then we have an FP. So this week is not the best week when it comes to news, but it's okay. Bitcoin is sitting at an interesting level. So we're getting possible, let's go to the monthly first, because that's the best candle. This candle is one of the biggest candles I've seen on the monthly in a while. Let's go to the logarithmic. Let's turn off Bollinger Bands, and the log scale kind of just helps you see it a little better. How this, one of these bullish candles right here that show up, when you see this size of bullish candle, you usually see a lot more after it. So in my opinion, you know, we might see a little dip back down to, what's this price? Something like this, 5K, but eventually I think we're gonna start to make another move up. I think this was a little correction and we're about to move up a lot higher. Let's go to the, get off the log chart and go to weekly. Now this is why I'm saying we might correct back to like 5K-ish. This is, you know, showing some topping pattern signs in an area where, you know, we really couldn't get above. And we're above it now, but you know, for a long time we closed below 61K or 60K, my bad. We're just above it now. So if we can remain above it, we might just be in a lower time frame consolidating for a big move up to 70K, or we might start to correct down. And you can see the swing already, this weekly swing from this low to high. So I'm going to go down to the daily and just do it on the daily. You can see it a little easier. From here to here. If it is going to start to correct down, this will be the next area that I expect a big move. So 50K. Now, when we go down to, let's say, the 1 hour, this to me just looks like a correction, and we're getting ready to make a move to the upside at any point. Like, there is no like, oh, we're in a possible downtrend. This to me looks like just, you know, sideways movement. If anything, there was a steal of liquidity right here. There was these lows. We broke this liquidity and we made a move up, and then we stole again. We had a big steal to the downside right here. I don't know if this is just this broker. It might be. So don't take that too seriously. I don't know. I'm not going to go check on other brokers, but regardless, this move down, that's on every broker, stealing all of this, and then this move up. And now we've just gone sideways. We've kind of done it again here, where we've moved down and we move up, and now we're going sideways. I think it's getting ready to make a move to the upside again. So I'm gonna, you know, I'm not personally going to buy yet. I'm going to look to buy when it comes down into here to be more safe. It's so volatile, but at this point, I think it's getting ready to, possibly move up. If it does make any impulsive moves, I swear the 61.71.8 works wonders on crypto. It really does. So let me go to Ethereum and see how this one's looking. Very bullish. Very nice. So this doesn't even look bearish to me at all. This looks a lot more bullish, like this is just going to continue up. A little bit of divergence, so I don't want to not say that. There's some reversal pattern look to it, as it's just kind of chopping up a little bit. But nonetheless, it is still just making higher highs and higher lows continuously. So a little bit of divergence, like I said, but this would be the swing to play on Ethereum. Boom. So it hasn't quite dipped into it yet. It might make one more drop into it. That would be the swing that I look for on Ethereum. Litecoin, I don't really trade Litecoin anymore, to be honest. I just kind of like to look at it to see where it is. It's always so cheap. This is like the most obvious reversal pattern. It's just this is a very big accumulation pattern right here. Litecoin is cheap right now. It's going to be double this price in a couple of weeks. And same with XRP. But they aren't really good for trading right now because they're just kind of they're not moving as much. So for this one, yeah, there's not really anything for those two. That's it. I really like the way this looks. So I'm going to be looking for trades off the 61.8. Same thing up here. I'm going to be looking off the 61.8 up here for GU. It is in a possible area where it could go up. So it might play me. I might get really played on this, but that's okay. Waiting on AU to break the lows. UCHF has been making lower lows, but it has some bullish divergence. UJ is looking like it's just going to continue to fall maybe, but I'm waiting for a retracement on the lower time frames. It looks a lot better. So I'm waiting for this move up and then to drop, kind of trend line retest scenario. This has made nice moves already. So I'm kind of just waiting for a retracement and then a move up. GJ is in a corrective mode right now. I'm waiting for like some type of liquidity grab or something before I get into it. GA is looking very bearish, so beware of buys on GA. I'm going to be waiting for some type of bullish price action to form, or bullish structure to form, my bad, on the 1 hour. And EA is probably going to just continue to fall. I'm not going to put this on there because I don't want to look for sells, but it's probably just going to continue to sell. See this move up and then drop. So it's probably just going to continue to sell. I'm not going to play EA. Gold, I'm waiting for it to move up a little bit more before I sell it. I think it's going to start to drop soon. Or on the 15-minute, I'm going to wait for a nice drop, retrace, get into that. VIX is going sideways, not giving me much, but it's low. So that means I don't want to really buy into the indexes. They could continue higher, but I don't want to look for buys off of them. The only way I would buy the NASDAQ is if it came back into this right here. And that's worth looking at. So we'll see what this looks like. This is just because it just recently broke all-time highs, and that almost lines up perfectly with all-time. Let me just move it a little bit more and make sure it lines up. Okay, those are the recent all-time highs, and when it broke it, that would be the retest right into that zone. So that's probably a good setup. I'm not gonna lie, even though I just said I don't want to really buy into the indices. That is probably a good setup. Can't even lie about it. None of these though. I'm not buying into these. I don't care about those. Yeah, I'm waiting for this thing to fall. So Bitcoin could correct down to 50K, but it also could be getting ready to just move to the upside again. So I'm kind of watching Bitcoin, getting ready for this thing to either take off here and then really make a move up to 70K, or correct all the way down here and get ready for an even bigger move up to 83K on its next swing. So Litecoin is in a similar area. I guess Litecoin could correct a lot lower than this. This would be like the 1 hour correction that it would need to make. This could be the next swing, and if it makes a deep correction, like Bitcoin might, this does have the opportunity to go a lot deeper. So this could correct a little more than what I had originally thought, now that I look at this higher time frame. But you can see this bullish demand breaking this high right here. That's just a clean entry all day right there. So, and then Litecoin and XRP, not really doing a whole lot. I'm not really looking at them. They are in accumulation zones, but I'm not really looking at them at all to trade. So that's it for today. I appreciate everyone for coming on, and everyone who watches on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. You'll have a good one. I appreciate it. Take care. Peace.